Yes, good morning and welcome to the P&B Morning Show. Barka de Salah. It's nice to be here this Friday morning, and I know that you woke up on the right side of your bed this lovely morning. So to our Muslim brothers and sisters, I want to say, yes, Ramadan has ended, and today, of course, is the first day in the month of Shawwal. Congratulations for making it this past 30 days through the Ramadan. All right. Today on the show, we'll begin with a critical debate: rehabilitation or revenue drive inside federal government's agribusiness plan for inmates. The federal government's push to involve inmates in agribusiness is raising important questions about reform, productivity, and the true purpose of correctional centers. Is this about rebuilding lives for reintegration? Or is it shifting correctional centers into economic production hubs? And where should the balance lie between dignity and output? Then we turn to national security and a powerful voice in the conversation. The Sultan of Sokoto is calling for stronger action against rising insecurity. But beyond the call itself, we ask, can influential voices truly drive real change in Nigeria's anti-terror response, or does impact depend entirely on political and security execution? Two issues, one central question: how effectively is Nigeria responding to its most urgent challenges? This is the P&B Morning Show. Let's begin. I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Welcome on board. You welcome back to the program, P&B Morning Show. Of course, it is the Salah edition. So it's now the segment of the newspaper review. Let's quickly dive into the papers this morning and check out what they have in stock for us. And without wasting time, we quickly bring on board the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper this morning, 2027. Succession firestorm in 10 states as governors exit nears. Succession firestorm in 10 states as governors exit nears. Wow. Yes, so in 10 states, the governors will be making their way out of office, and those to actually succeed them is, of course, the big question right now. All right, so check out the Punch newspaper for this. Eid al-Fitr, Speaker, governors preach unity, police threaten civilians. Speaker, governors preach unity, police strengthen surveillance. Arms shortage undermines anti-terror war in Nigeria, Africa. Stockholm report. Arms shortage undermines anti-terror war in Nigeria, Africa. Stockholm report. I think this report is really, really important for one to check out this morning. So the problem of fighting terror is as a result of arms shortage for the security forces. So let's check out this report and know the true nature of Nigeria in this report. Delta teenager visiting friend shot dead in Lagos. Delta teenager visiting friend shot dead in Lagos. Wow, that is really, really disturbing this morning. Nigeria spent 9 trillion naira importing petrol. Nigeria spent 9 trillion naira importing petrol. Wow, 9 trillion naira. That's not a joke as far as importation of petrol is concerned. And look at that picture there. Starmer pushes strategic UK-Nigeria alliance with 1.4 trillion naira fresh deal. And you can see the president and, of course, the Minister of Finance there with that of UK and the president in their center. So deals are being signed as we speak in UK following the visit of the president to the United Kingdom, the very first in 37 years by a Nigerian president. That's really interesting there. All right. If you're watching us on YouTube, please do well to subscribe to the channel. Yes, do well to subscribe to the channel so that we can all grow this channel together. And of course, also like this broadcast so that more people can see and join us. Okay. And of course, to do that, all you need to do is to go to YouTube. It is, of course, the only way to get us on YouTube is to type Politics and Business TV.English. Politics and Business TV.English. Of course, on Facebook at Politics and Business TV English, and other social media handles like Instagram and X is at P&BTV_English. P&BTV_English. Okay, so let's move on from Punch, I beg your pardon, to Vanguard newspaper. To Vanguard newspaper this morning. Vanguard has this, headline, and you can see the Middle East war. Fresh fears of higher petrol price as crude hits $114 per barrel. Fresh fears of higher petrol price as crude hits $114 per barrel. Okay. Nigeria records highest fuel price hike globally. According to reports, Nigeria records highest fuel price hike globally. Wow. So despite the war in the Middle East, and of course, the increase in the pump price of petrol across the world, Nigeria's own is the highest. And why is that so? Despite Dangote refinery, why is that so? So check out that report on the Vanguard newspaper. Insecurity, local cooperation critical to ending insurgency, CDS. Local cooperation critical to ending insurgency. Tinubu stammer, sign £747 million deal to refurbish 2 major Nigerian ports. Tinubu stammer, signed £747 million deal to refurbish 2 major Nigerian ports. APC government has failed. Nigeria now 4th global terror epicenter, ADC. APC government has failed. Nigeria now 4th global terror epicenter, ADC. That is the opposition, talking there. All right. Lagos security agencies partner to curb road carnage, substance abuse. Lagos security agencies partner to curb road carnage, substance abuse. Eid al-Fitr, Tinubu Akpabio, governors, orders, facilitates Muslims. Tinubu Akpabio, governors, orders, felicitates Muslims. All right. Transport moguls shift focus on vehicle assembly. Transport moguls shift focus on vehicle assembly. Okay, so that's a good one there. The likes of Inosin and Co. perhaps want to go into full manufacturing than assembling vehicles in Nigeria. So check out that story and find out what they are from, how they are going to shift from mere assembling of vehicles to the next level. Of course, that's the Vanguard newspaper with that interesting story this morning. And we move on to our next paper. Let's move on to our next paper and check out what the next paper has in stock for us. This day is next. And of course, this day has this: Nigeria, UK signed £746 million deal to upgrade Apapa Tinkan Port. Nigeria, UK signed £746 million deal to upgrade Apapa Tinkan Port. And the writers, Tinubu says both nations must nurture trade, economic relationship. At least £236 million contracts will go to British firms. That's 20% of the deal will go to British firms. And British Steel to provide 120,000 tons of steel billets. Agreement aligns weight drive to unlock maritime sector. So says Oyetola. And of course, other writers there. Okay, so you can see the picture of the president and the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. Starmer hosts Tinubu at Downing Street. And of course, that's really interesting there from This Day newspaper. With attacks on energy facilities, Iran war enters new phase. Oil jumps above $119. With attacks on energy facilities, Iran war enters new phase. Oil jumps above $119. Iran attack wipes out 17% of Qatar's LNG capacity. Pentagon wants $200 billion move for ongoing war. Pentagon wants $200 billion more for ongoing war. Okay. 6 countries condemn attacks on Gulf energy in joint statements. 6 countries condemn attacks on Gulf energy in joint statements. So that's the situation with the Middle East war involving the US, Israel, and Iran. And now it is attacks on oil facilities across the region. And that is causing a lot of global reaction as we speak this morning. That's the This Day newspaper for you. And we'll move on to our next paper on the review. The Guardian is next. And of course, the Guardian has this headline: Global Terrorism Index. Opposition CSOs flay FG over worst rating. 46% surge in killings. Opposition CSOs flay FG over worst rating. 46% surge in killings. Wow. And we have other headlines there. Nigeria UK seal deal on migration, border security, improved trade. Nigeria UK seal deal on migration, border security, improved trade. Terrorism. CDS did not accuse Borno Yobe residents of complicity. Terrorism. CDS did not accuse Borno Yobe residents of complicity. NLC rolls out special Salah train services nationwide. NLC rolls out special Salah train services nationwide. that is the Nigeria Railway Corporation, rolls out special Salah train services nationwide. ADC fought ASU CSOs over silence on certificates, forgery law. ADC fought ASU CSOs over silence on certificate forgery law. At Salah, Yelwada Sule preach unity, sacrifice, compassion. At Salah, Yelwada Sule preach unity, sacrifice, compassion. The governors of Taraba and Nasarawa states preaching unity and, of course, sacrifice and compassion this morning. So check out that story in The Guardian. All right. And, of course, we'll move on. Let's move on to our next paper under review this morning from The Guardian. And we'll now go to the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian Tribune is next. Reps warn of imminent petrol scarcity. Price hike over Dangote supply gaps. Reps warn of imminent petrol scarcity. Price hike over Dangote supply gaps. You can check out that story on page 3 and 6. All right. And of course, the rider to the headline there, seek urgent intervention of Presidential Technical Committee on Crude for Fuel Initiative. Costs of goods set to rise as manufacturers face higher energy input costs. Dangote NLNG orders accounts for 85% of LPG supply in February 2026. Dangote NLNG orders accounts for 85% of LPG supply in February 2026. Barge operators lament over lack of baiting space at Apapa ports. Barge operators lament over lack of baiting space at Apapa ports. Nigeria eyes 30 trillion naira windfall as oil prices surge over $115 per barrel. Nigeria eyes 30 trillion naira windfall as oil prices surge over 115 per barrel. Okay. Tinubu stammer holds talks as Nigeria, UK seals £746 million port deals. Tinubu stammer holds talks as Nigeria, UK seals $746 million port deal. Okay. Tinubu governors orders felicitate Muslims at Eid al-Fitr. Tinubu governors orders felicitate Muslims at Eid al-Fitr. Nigeria's fourth global terror ranking confirms Tinubu's failure. ADC Obi. Nigeria's fourth global terror ranking confirms Tinubu's failure. ADC Obi. And from the health sector, we have this story. Number of children you have may influence lifespan. Number of children you have may influence lifespan. That's according to study. That's really interesting there. Okay. So all these are the headlines on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. So you need to check out all the stories for your pleasure this Salah. So go to the newsstand and order any of these papers we've looked into this morning for you to get these juicy stories. Yes, so that you know what is happening around you. Let's move on to our next paper on the review this morning, and The Nation is next. And The Nation has this: President calls for peace as Muslim mark Eid al-Fitr. President calls for peace as Muslims mark Fidel Fatir. Appeal Court orders fresh hearing of El-Rufai's case. Appeal Court orders fresh hearing of El-Rufai's case. IMF, global inflation will surge on prolonged oil price spike. IMF, global inflation will surge on prolonged oil price spike. That's scary. My Impression of Nigeria by King Charles. My Impressions of Nigeria by King Charles. So check out that story there on the Nation newspaper. Okay, so we move on and so we can get other review from the other papers we have this morning. Okay, so let's check out which one we will be reviewing this morning. The Daily Independent is next. Daily Independent is next. The Daily Independent, UK to deport failed asylum seekers, criminals to Nigeria, according to the new migration deal there. UK to deport failed asylum seekers, criminals to Nigeria. All right. And looking also, the Daily Independent has the story of the current global terrorism index. ADC, PDP say Nigeria's ranking shows failure of Tinubu's government. ADC, PDP say Nigeria's ranking shows failure of Tinubu's government. I have no regrets over my actions as minister, says Malami. I have no regrets over my actions as minister, says Malami. Pray for peace, prosperity in Nigeria, Tinubu tells Muslim faithfuls. Pray for peace, prosperity in Nigeria, Tinubu tells Muslim faithfuls. Okay. Nigeria, UK seals £746 million deal to revamp Tinkan Apapa ports. Nigeria, UK seals £746 million deal to revamp Tinkan Apapa ports. Reps, one of more fuel price hike, queues worsening hardship. Reps, one of more fuel price hike, queues worsening hardship. All right. And we have this one here, federal government addressing gas shortages. And okay, so you got to check out that one. Yes, federal government addressing gas shortage, causing drop to power supply. Causing drop in power supply, beg your pardon. Okay. All right. So the federal government is addressing that. Beiti Allah warns members against carrying knives, matches during Salah. Beiti Allah warns members against carrying knives, matches during Salah. That's a story there from the Daily Independent. Okay. So we'll move on to our next paper. Let's move on to our next paper this morning. And it is the very last, and it is sports, coming from the Sports Extra. Juliet Uka exclusive. Being a police officer and representing my country also shows that the police support sports and athletes. I don't like blood, but I have been winning since I started doing what I do best. Okay, that's interesting. My adventure from police to MMA. Okay, all right. So that's an exclusive interview there by Juliet Uka. Okoye shifts focus to 2030 World Cup. Okoye shifts focus to 2030 World Cup. Lookman braces for Barca Champions League test. Lookman braces for Barca Champions League test. It will be a Spanish encounter in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona. And Lookman is already bracing for that encounter. Fernandez will be great asset to Eagles. Fernandez will be great asset to Eagles. Who said that? We find out. Amuson to battle Olympic champ Russell in Eugene. Amuson to battle Olympic champ Russell in Eugene. Okay. Osimhen risk months out with arm injury. Osimhen risk month out with arm injury. Okay. Courtois to miss Bayern tie. Courtois to miss Bayern tie. Find out why Courtois will be missing Bayern tie. That's the goalkeeper of Real Madrid. Terry slams Chelsea for heavy UEFA Champions League loss. Terry slams Chelsea for heavy UEFA Champions League loss. That's John Terry, the legend of Chelsea, slamming his team for the heavy loss to their opponents, the Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. 8-2 is the aggregate scoreline at the end of the day. United close in on £69 million Guimaraes. United close in on £69 million Guimaraes. That's really interesting there. Hen denies Joshua Fury fight signed. Hen denies Joshua Fury fight signed. That's really interesting this morning. So all these are, of course, the stories are coming from the Sports Extra. So we just have to go for a quick break. When we return after the break, we'll dive into the issues of the day. So stay tuned as the P&B Morning Show continues right here. All right, so welcome back. Welcome back to the morning show right here on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. I still remain on Mike Joseph Matthew. Now, joining me this morning on the show is, of course, Alhaji Chidi Kenneth.
OJ, I'm sure you are trying to liken me or link me with my dressing today. Today is Salah. OJ.
Yes.
And I decided to dress like this so that I can identify myself with the mood of the nation now.
Yes.
Although even though the nation is having so many mixed feelings now, we have those who are crying in Meduguri, our brothers, and we have those who are also rejoicing. That's how the world rolls, you know. Baraka de Salah to all my Muslim brothers. My name is Chidi Kenneth, as you've heard, and I am very happy to identify with Salah today with my Muslim brothers.
All right.
More so that OJ, my coming here too was challenging in the sense that I couldn't even get a vehicle to come to this place. I didn't come with my car, so I had to go through the usual transport route. It was not easy getting any vehicle. The road is the Nigerians are at home.
Yes.
Nigerians are completely at home. When I mean completely, it's serious. So
the fuel, because of the fuel price, and of course the holiday. You know, today is Salah, and for the Muslims, they have to go to the Eid ground by 8-9 o'clock. They have to go to the Eid ground. So by now they are preparing, and all that. So it's not surprising that the roads are empty today.
Very empty, OJ. Yes. OJ, very empty. If I'm to let you know, I had to walk down for a very long distance because I couldn't even get the normal vehicle that can connect me from, the defense headquarters down to this place. It was difficult. But I thank God I'm here, and I'm also happy to celebrate the Salah with my Muslim brothers.
All right, so that's really interesting there. Okay, so let's quickly dive into our very first issue this morning. Now, Nigeria's correctional system may be on the brink of a major transformation, one that shifts the focus from punishment to productivity. Now, the federal government is now proposing to turn custodial centers into agribusiness hubs, partnering with the private sector to equip inmates with skills, boost food production, and potentially generate revenue. But beyond the policy headlines, a critical question emerges. Is this truly about rehabilitation, or is it a strategic economic move? Supporters say the initiative could reduce reoffending, empower inmates with practical skills, and ease the burden on the state. However, critics are raising concerns about implementation, accountability, and whether profit motives could overshadow genuine reform. As Nigeria explores this bold new direction, the stakes are high, not for the inmates, but for the society at large. So this morning, we're looking at rehabilitation or revenue drive inside federal government's agribusiness plan for inmates. So Chidi Kenneth is here, and let's dive into the issue this morning. Okay, yesterday we touched on this briefly.
Yes.
And today we want to look at it holistically.
Yes.
So, what do you make of this new plan? New plan by the Correctional Center. Now, the Minister of Interior made this known about 2 days ago, and it's causing a lot of discussion now. So let's dive into it.
OJ, once again, thank you very much. I'm Baraka de Salah. Well, like you said, we touched on it yesterday, and I think it's also good that we also dive into it, properly this time. First of all, we must understand that the whole idea of the Correctional Center is to also give people second chance to correct certain things about their lives, to have a rethink, and have some sense of remorse, and that is why it was changed from the Nigerian prison confinement to correction. In other words, certain activities have been injected into the environment, as it were, called prison before, such as inmates now go to school, inmates now learn things like vocational studies like tailoring, shoemaking, and the rest of them. They have good cobblers. People graduating with all forms of certificates. We've seen people with master's degree, from the correctional. So the idea of rebranding it from prison to correctional center is very beautiful, and it's something that's come to stay. I think it started a bit during the time of is it Buhari? Yes, and now we are taking it up from correctional center to productivity center now. So that's what it is now. Productivity in the sense that we're beginning to think, outside the box to begin to make them more productive. Because it's interesting to know that Nigerians spent over billions of naira trying to feed the inmates, because these inmates are human beings. They are not spirits. So
no matter their crime.
Yes, no matter their crime, that's also they are given second chance. So they are human beings. So funding their feeding, even though it's, some of our prison here in Nigeria, the food given to inmates is nothing to write home about, but at least it's better than nothing. It's also so bringing this idea of making them productive while they are serving their jail term. I want to tell you that it's a very beautiful idea. But before I go, let me also let you know that some developed countries have been doing that. Like I said yesterday, that we have top 7 prisons in the world that have, when you see their meal, they grow their food and eat their food, even have enough to even supply to the society. We like the likes of France, which is rated number 7, Germany number 1. We have Sweden, we have Norway, we have Switzerland. If you see the facilities of this prison, we have Italy. You'll be wondering, is it a 5-star hotel? Especially the one of Germany that is number 1. Now, when looking at it at the top 10 prisons in Nigeria, with the likes of Kirikiri, the Kuje, the likes of Port Harcourt, and the rest of them, Kano, Sokoto, and the rest of them, it's not something that you can. That is where the challenge is now. In as much as I appreciate this idea of making them from not just being correctional, but being productive, we have challenges. Some of these prisons don't have landmass. Prisons don't have landmass where you can farm. The likes of Kirikiri, the likes of Kuje, where it is situated, where do you have the land to farm?
No, I think the plan for this initiative is they want to start it from 2 of these prisons. The Kirikiri you just mentioned and Kuje. Kuje has a lot of land mass
surrounded, close to it,
close to
secured.
That is where the issue is, because if we are considering the
gauze wires,
the recent attacks.
Let me go there. The gauze wires surrounding Frank's prison is a world-class gauze wire with hefty security apparatus. We don't have such here.
Of course.
Because you're talking about emails, you're talking of some people that has committed serious capital crimes. Like murder. Yes. All kinds of
armed robbery.
Armed robbery that they probably didn't even kill. We have bandits there. We have suspected bandits. We have convicted bandits. We have Boko Haram members there. And you are trying to give them chance to de-radicalize them. And then you take them out to the place where there is not properly secured. Some of them one of them are very versatile with the guns you are carrying. So they can disarm the officer and take the gun and then clear everybody and move on.
Yes, that is where the issue is. If you say someone should farm, you have to give him farming implements, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The farming implement
so don't you think that the farming implement will become a weapon? Because that is what
farming implement in itself is light weapon. The likes of cutlass, digger, like of shovels, these are light weapons. And you see, there are certain ideas that are very laudable and beautiful, but are we ripe for it? Are we prepared for it? What is the logistics the minister is putting on ground to ensure that this, because the idea in itself is beautiful, but we have logistics on ground to contain this idea. What you were talking about, someone who was just convicted of serious genocide, serial killer, and you want to take him to the farm. Like in all those developed countries I mentioned, nobody bothers. The CCTV cameras are everywhere, centralized.
And even where the prisons are situated,
it's far away from life.
So that if you want to run, you either run to the sea or to a big river or to somewhere that you will not survive it.
In fact, some of them, you are being blindfolded before they take you there. So you don't even know the route, you don't know your way out. You don't even know your way out. You don't even have the map of that place. We have one of the most dangerous prisons in the world, the Guantanamo Bay, where you don't even have surrounded by water. So where do you go to? Do you understand? So coming to this part of the world, Nigeria now, it is okay, like I said earlier on, to adopt such strategy. It's a welcome development because it even save cost for us as a country.
Okay.
Like I said, the money being allocated for feeding and the corruption that goes in around this supply of food in Nigerian prisons is not what I want to go into.
Now, let's look at those key components of this plan business, or agribusiness plan, I should say. Number one is the infrastructure and skill. Now, operation across 18 specialized farm centers and 10 cottage industries covering roughly 10,000 hectares. Okay. And then we have operational focus at training and production focus on diverse areas. Crop production. So these are the crops that will be cultivated according to the plan: maize, rice, cassava, yams, soya beans, millet, sorghum, and vegetables. And then livestock is poultry, piggery, and fish production. Processing, agro-processing and value chain opportunities to enhance skills. Rehabilitation and incentives. That I think that is where this one might interest you. Now, sentence reduction. All right. Now, in some jurisdiction, working on farms reduces sentences. For example, 3 months reduced for every month worked. 3 months reduced from every month you work.
So using labor as a form of bargain.
Yes.
For your freedom.
Yes. So if you are part of the plan and you go to farm, so if you farm for 1 month, if you work on the farm for 1 month, 3 months will be deducted from the sentence.
OJ, you see, it's encouraging to encourage inmates to also embrace this whole idea. When you know that,
so someone with 20 years, you might not spend 20 years.
You might not spend 20 years. It's good. It's good for humanity too. However, I still maintain the fact that we need to also put structures in place. But my problem is not the idea. The idea, like I said, as it's been done in other countries, is beautiful. The idea has a lot of advantage. One, it will empower the people, the inmates will be skillful. It will make them very responsible and committed, and they will, of course, to take care of them psychologically, because they will not have much, psychological trauma of not being outside the larger society. 3, it is going to save cost, which is the most important.
And so let me continue.
And the issue of that cost, again, not just within themselves, they will be able to feed themselves, grow their food, and even become businessmen.
And that is the issue of the self-sufficiency.
Yes.
So harvested produce helps feed the inmates, reduce reliance on state funding, like you just said.
Yes, and they will even become businessmen.
Yeah.
Some can grow as much as 10 hectares of yam. But the problem, like I said, is structure. Some of these prisons, if they want to really achieve, they must be relocated and well structured.
Or don't you think they can be escorted? Now that we may not have, we not have prisons that are situated in an area where there is land mass, well protected and all that. We're taking escorted, security, like maybe the army.
You are making a plan to save cost, and you are incurring more cost. Do you know what it takes? You are going to afford buses will cost them.
Those security forces are already. Already working for the government. So
excuse me, buses.
We have prison buses now.
I'm coming, and the buses will use diesel.
Yes.
To drive them to a certain kilometer.
It's business. You are farming now.
When
you farm yourself, it's part of the business.
The whole idea of this whole internal farm mechanism is to cut costs. That is the first of all.
No, cut cost for the inmates.
For the inmates.
Yes.
The same inmates, you're going to transport them. Now, who knows where the location is? Fine, you take them to the location. The same inmates, when you take them to such locations, you're also going to feed them in those farms. Because of course they need water. The security men that will guide them will be special security men, not just the normal one.
Yes, of course.
Because you're not talking of the one. It's okay when they're in their chains and chain in the building. You can the inmates, the warders can work without guns because something is already they're being encaged. But this time we're talking about open field. 2, such places places like that you're going to take them. What kind of fencing technology do you have? Because you can't take 200 inmates and believe that 2 of them are of the same like minds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So when I mean structure in place, I'm trying to save costs. You see, transporting them is not a bad idea. What is the distance again? That's another thing.
I know it won't be 100 kilometers. Of course, it will be 100 kilometers. It will be a distance where.
What am I trying to say?
Yes.
It is an opportunity for government to start looking how to build good prisons now. Because OJ, if we build good prisons and site them in a very good location, this idea has the capacity to secure Nigeria in terms of food.
Food security.
Yes. The price of beans, yam, corn, everything will crash within 3 years.
Just imagine 10,000 hectares.
Just 10,000 hectares per prison. Kefi, Suleja, push them, build standard prisons, put structures in place, land mass, machines. OJ, nobody will import food. It will destroy importation. It will interest you, we still import tomatoes. Tomatoes, OJ. So, with this plan, food security is guaranteed in Nigeria. And it will even reduce crime. So either way, the gain is even higher. If you just build a good prison. Do you know the GDP these prisons in Europe generate to the country? People, let me shock you. I think it's Spain, which country? People go for students studying agriculture or whatever, go for excursions to go and see things in prison. Some of the prisoners, inmates are so creative that they invent more ideas. So the benefit is endless. As a president, as a government, if they invest in this idea very well, we will destroy importation. It will die. They can grow palm oil trees, process it. It will resume crime in the sense that now when people go to prison, when people have been sentenced to prison, of course they go there and become very productive. And some of our prisons are even over congested.
Yes.
OJ, I visit the courts. Sometimes you see a crime that this person is supposed to go to prison. And they will tell him guilty or no guilty. Say no guilty, and it's okay. You have been granted bail with the option of fine, with the option of these 2 shorties of like sum of 500,000 naira. OJ, let me give you my personal experience. I took a man to court, and what was his crime? I took a man to court, and he almost killed somebody with a cutlass. He did, butchered the guy on his leg. The leg was even dancing. I took this guy, the security guy. I carried him with that blood on the leg to the hospital in the night, in the middle of the night, around 2 a.m. And I was able to apprehend 2 out of the 3 guys. OJ took those guys to station after they were being manhandled. Of course, people came out and reacted. Why did you do this kind of man? He said he came to their farm in the midnight. What are you doing as a farmer in the night?
In the farm.
He said he's protecting his fruits, that he heard that because the guy farms watermelon. That they come to his farm to steal his watermelon. I said, but this is a security man. You saw him with a uniform. He came to ease himself in the bush. And that was the story. And then we took them to the station. From story, we charged them to court. When we got to court, OJ, the guy was looking at me like this. And there was this confidence he was exhibiting that he's not going to prison. So I was wondering where the confidence was coming from. OJ, to cut the long story short, few months down the line,
he was free.
I was in a tricycle going to a local market. And somebody waved to the tricycle and was collecting tickets. Just barely 1 month plus. And he say, normally the garage attitude, you say, where's your ticket? And the person that was asking, where's your ticket, was this person I took to court. And he said, Sanusa, he greeted me in Hausa. My mind then clicked. I said, if this guy wants to harm me now,
he will.
He will. This is a guy that committed a crime that should not be given a second thought. He should go to prison.
But it's working free.
It's working free. So now, these are the issues. Some of these prisons are congested. Trust me, they are. If you visit Kefi prison, if you visit Suleja prison, you understand what I'm talking about. So it's high time the government start looked into this whole matter and take it seriously. Good standard prisons with 10,000 hectares of land, supply them, the machines to produce food. OJ, we are home and dry when it comes to food security.
Now, key locations currently operations currently operationals. The current locations that are being used is the Kuje Custodial Center, Dukpa Farm Center, Krikri Female Prison, and others. I think these are like the test pilots for this, the test pilot for this idea. Okay, so that will be interesting. That will be interesting.
Very interesting, OJ.
Okay, all right. So looking at this reform, how would the public-private partnership model ensure transparency and prevent exploitation of inmates? So one thing here is that we should not rule out the issue of exploitation of these inmates, because
as an inmate, you've lost some certain percentage of your rights.
Oh, yes.
Of course, you should know that.
In some cases, a lot of percentage of your right, yes. If
you've lost
80%.
That is why you are convicted.
Yes.
You've lost it.
Yes. So, do you think that the issue of exploitation of these inmates will not set in?
Of course, a man who doesn't share the same right with the normal citizen of the country will be exploited.
Now, someone is not sentenced to prison for hard labor. You understand? You know, there are different degrees of sentencing. Now, you are not sentenced to prison for hard labor. Now, with this initiative now, someone will say, because you are a prisoner, the prison authority, because you are a prisoner, I go to farm. And you've not been farming before. So go to farm. In the name of rehabilitation. Exploitation by just setting it.
Yes, OJ, is a human factor. It is innate and natural in human beings to exploit each other. You should know that, even in a sane society, it's done. The capitalist day out there that is doing business, what is he doing? He's exploiting the downtrodden. So the exploitation is a nature of man. That is why we have poor and rich and the middle class. It's exploitation. Exploitation creates those demarcations.
So how can we stop this?
You can't stop it, OJ.
So are you now saying, is this not a cause of source of concern?
It's a concern on paper. You see, there are some things
we are talking about exploitation, and you are saying it's normal. Can we just normalize
No, I'm not saying. I say it's a human problem. In every 8 people sitting down in a place, somebody must exploit somebody to gain an advantage. So the only thing that can reduce such a thing is when people like us, we keep talking about it and drawing attention of people to it. But it is a human nature to exploit. Even in the global world, nations are exploiting nations.
Okay, now let's narrow it down here. Don't you think that we should say, okay, these are the categories of inmates that will be used for this program?
Yes, let me. However,
maybe somebody who is sentenced to 6 months imprisonment should not be part of it.
Should not be part of it.
Yes.
OJ, I agree with you. But you understand, they say all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Why did I say that? Of course, you read the popular
Animal Farm.
The Napoleon and the rest of them. You saw what happened
there by George Orwell.
George Orwell. So that's the best literature to describe what you're talking about. You see, like I will always say, what makes a project or what makes an idea beautiful is the person behind the idea. The person actualizing the idea. I always tell people that money as a currency, you see this thing called money, it doesn't have meaning. The person that gives that money meaning is who is holding it. Policies, ideas cannot stand on its own, cannot gain meaning on its own. It is the person actualizing it that gives it the true meaning of that policy or the idea. Now, what am I trying to say? We have had beautiful ideas, even more beautiful than this. And it was corruption swallowed it. Because the person handling it is corrupt. So we must look at the human factor first. It is until we look. Somebody said something. He said, we are producing the kind of people that we are as leaders. Our leaders is a reflection. They are reflections of who we are as a people. So we should stop complaining. Is it the mechanic in Apo that is truthful? Is it the tailor? Is it the driver? Even just mere announcing of fuel has increased. The filling stations will exploit you. So we must understand the human factor. First of all, we must de-radicalize our mindset in this country.
Okay, now.
Because if we don't do that, do you know this same foods given to prisoners? Some people still siphon money, eat it, still take it and supply. Is it not somebody that will seize rice, expired rice, and go and share? The person that is doing that, how is he thinking? So that I like to attack issues from the human angle first, because as a person, no matter how beautiful you have an idea is, if that idea falls into the hands of a wicked man, the idea will become wicked. As beautiful as that idea is. That is why you always hear me talk about the human angle to everything. The reason why some countries are developed is because of the mindset of the citizen. It is the mindset. See, I'm saying it on national TV. As a citizen, we need to work on our mindset first. You write a petition, your car is missing, somebody will tell you, oh yeah, where it happened? You are there talking, and your car is going, moving your car. See, we need to work on our mindset as a country. Nigeria first. Somebody woke up in America, say, don't think of what America will do for you. Think of what you will do for America. And that transformed the country.
And now that brings the question. So what safeguards are in place to guarantee that inmates are fairly treated, they are not exploited? You see,
let me give you one.
The issue of exploitation, yes.
Let the right people heading the prisons should be there. The right people, they should put people who are professionally trained. Somebody who read mathematics, you can put in. Somebody who read. We should have professional doctors. We should have professional people who are abreast with issues that borders on correctional centers and the rest of them. In developed countries, you see people who read psychology, people who read sociology, courses that are humanly related, guidance and counseling. So let's start from there. Not somebody who read mechanical engineering and you put him there. He doesn't understand what human psychology is. And this, I hope you know that correctional center is 90% psychology.
Of course.
And then you are putting somebody to come and control this correctional center that is a mathematician. That is a misfit in itself. Let's start from recruitment error. We should correct it. A lot of people working in Nigerian correctional centers have no business being there. They don't understand the business of correctional centers. Correctional centers are supposed to have welfare, people who have degrees in welfare services, guidance and counseling, psychology, sociology. OJ, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those are the people that should be employed in such centers first. Doctors, psychological doctors. So by the time he's talking to an inmate, you see, people who know how to relate with people who are going through, because what I like to know, some of them in correctional centers are going through trauma. People who can talk them out of and make them feel like a human being again, thereby correcting them. Because correctional center is not about your strength. It's all about, first of all, the mind. That's why it's called correctional. Because it was out of your mind that you committed that crime that brought you there. So the whole idea is to correct your mind. And then you are putting somebody who is hostile to handle such people. You will not be corrected, he will be worsened. Because that is when exploitation will start. Because that is when you take somebody who is not mentally fit to go and farm. You will scatter the whole place. But you need to de-radicalize him and put his mind on the right path. Then by the time you take him to the farm, he appreciates serving his nation, even as a farmer that is undergoing correction. You understand me? So these are the first thing. Two, we must also ensure that they will be assured that whatever promise being, because like you said, for every 1 month that you work, 3 months is deducted.
Yes, that is from in other climes. So we don't really know if that will be the plan.
If this plan is ejected,
but there must be something.
Yes,
There must be
if you
something for
this
the
kind
inmates.
of plan here, I can assure you that many inmates will be very willing to correct themselves.
So if you are sentenced to 50 years, you know that one day, there is hope that one day you get out.
Of course. You put more labor. You know that, okay, your labor can also aim to reduce your sentence. It's a welcome idea. But again, like I said, good ideas, wrong hands.
Okay, so how can this business initiative realistically reduce reoffending rates in Nigeria's correctional centers? Because we have instances where some people go to our centers, our correctional centers, prisons as it were, and when they come back, they become more hardened. You understand? When you see an ex-convict in our society,
you'll be bragging.
Yes, they'll be bragging.
I don't go serve before.
You understand?
I go change them for you.
Yes.
You ask about me. I have one in my estate. Don't go for have one.
Good. So, can this initiative now, reduce reoffending? Not like this one. If you want to give us example of now.
OJ, it is like I said, it has the capacity to sanitize the country, reduce crime. Why did I say it has the capacity to reduce crime? Why is crime increasing? It's lack of repentance. Some of our police stations here cells does not even give one the opportunity to even have a change of heart.
You become hardened.
Of course.
Once you go there.
In fact, some people see it as a roadmap for greatness. I don't serve, man. I don't come back. They become harder. But in the app, I don't see 99, waiting be 100. They say it. Now, but if this idea is well harnessed and put in place, OJ, the value it will add to the country is huge. Number one, they will be busy because one of the causes of crime is lack of busy mind. They will be more useful and productive, gaining ideas that can even help them in and out of the prison. They will socialize more because they have a level playing ground where everybody comes together. And they understand certain economics like division of labor and business. Some of them will be drivers of those machines. Some of them will operate the tractors. Some of them will need to process the melon. So they begin to learn a lot of things that will be useful to them. Because when you are busy and you are occupied with useful activities, of course, gradually you're getting your sanity back. Because the idle mind is what? Is the devil's workshop. So it is good. Very good. It will, of course, to a large extent, by the time some of them are coming out, they will be useful to their society. They will go and replicate what they learned in that prison outside there. They're already skillful. They go there and replicate it. And why it will even help them in terms of repentance, like you said, is because their mind is no longer idle. And of course, the idea of farming is a softer way of punishing somebody. Some people in the prison have not seen sunlight for a whole month. Have you seen some prison? No light.
Those incarcerated, maybe depending on their offense.
Some of these farms, we have water, rivers close by that you can bath, you can swim. At least they have a little taste of
humanity
and life. They will even sing, cook in that farm. They can cut firewood and then cook. Eat together. That's what I say, socialize properly under good atmosphere. While they are farming, even the trees in the farm will also enhance their health because you breathe in oxygen and the tree supplies you carbon dioxide. That is why when you go to developed countries, see, they don't joke with trees. There are some countries when you cut a tree, you go to prison, you go to court for cutting a tree. Because you don't know you have a covenant with that tree. You don't know. When you plant trees, this is not the artificial AC you put in your house that is carbonized. That is carbon. You're talking of natural air, flowers, trees. You see them under shade, under mango tree, eating fresh organic food. They will grow organic food, eat good mangoes, eat good fruit, increase their immune system. Even the inmates by extension, we have good health. So you can go on and on and on like that. They farm mangoes, they farm oranges and all that. They eat vegetables because they grow them.
Okay. All right. So we'll see how this initiative from the federal government will go, trying to reposition correctional centers, and the minister is really trying to bring some innovation as far as our correctional centers are concerned.
Well, because sorry to cut you. Before you go, I just have something to tell you. You see, there are two sectors in Nigeria that if you fix it very well.
Yes.
In fact, there are three. Number one, electricity, police, and the correctional centers. If this idea is fully implemented, full-blown, in all the 36 states in Nigeria, OJ, you can see, I want to commend the minister. I won't end by not doing that. Whatever he got an idea for, I commend him. And if I were to be the president, I would jump at it. I will even pay more attention to it than the next election. That's why I said something yesterday. I said there are actions you take that is more laudable than 10 campaigns. I said it yesterday, visiting the people in Borno State as a president. I am telling you, there is a governor in this state we know, Abia State governor. He's not even campaigning. The people say shut down. Nobody's coming out to challenge him. The citizens and indigenes of the state is saying nobody. We don't want. Have you seen that happen before in Nigeria? We don't want. A lot of opposition parties in that state have tried to discredit him and do all kinds of things. The citizens say, we don't even have another governor. If there's any need to even change the constitution to allow him to go for another 20, we want. That's why I say everything is a human being, OJ. It is the human being. It is the human being, OJ. Morning show is going on the way it's going because of, you know what? It is when the right people are in the right place, when the square pegs are in square holes, you don't need to struggle. Some of these ideas, what is killing the ideas in Nigeria is that when these beautiful ideas come out, some people politicize it and put their brother, who is not even qualified for such positions. It happens in sports, it happens everywhere. So until we change our mindset, Nigeria is a country with beautiful ideas, intelligent people. Why are we where we are? Because sometimes we try to tribalize it. We'll put religion inside. And these are the things killing us.
Now, before we go now, partnering with NGOs, do you think it will go a long way? Non-governmental organizations, this initiative trying to bring in NGOs into it.
OJ,
because it's still part of the plan.
Partnering with NGO, our approach is questioned in two forms. First of all, if government starts this project and begin to do it the right way, you don't need to tell an NGO to join you. They will join on their own. Everybody likes to identify with success, naturally. Everybody. If the minister hits the ground running, just start with 3 states, renovate the prisons, get landmass for them, get machines, and the things start working. NGOs, churches, what they will identify.
They'll key into it
immediately. So when you say partnering, the reason why you go to beg for sponsorship as an organization is because you're not being seen. There are organizations in this country that multinational companies call them every year and said, okay, I beg, remember us this year. I have a friend, he's into showbiz, he's a comedian, a big-time comedian in this country. I don't want to call his name, so I don't want to look as if I'm trying to make. Every year, big companies call him and say, how far this year? Where will they do them this year? Now, this hotel I've been aware. They will go and pay all the flight and pay for the hall, pay for the DJ, pay for everything, pay for the whole hotel rooms that the whole artist will stay. Every year, when you put the right logistics and right structure in place, NGOs will come and beg you.
Okay, so
that's why I'm trying to tell you. The issue of partnership, we stress it too much in this country. Partnership, to partner, go to developed countries. NGOs, companies, when they are designing their annual budget, there are organizations, they put them without even telling the organization. They must put it and say, we need this. In fact, there are people who are online bloggers that big companies call them and say, just give us. There are newspapers in this country. Just give us one small corner in your front newspaper.
They always talk about us.
Yes.
Okay. Kenneth, as we try to wrap up very quickly, let's talk about the minister himself, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Tunji Ojo. To be fair to this young
very
man,
active and proactive.
Yes, because immigration before now, you need passport, you know what it takes for you to get.
Of course, I have an international passport. Okay. I know what I went through.
So
if you want it in 4 days, you know what to do. If you want it in 3 days, you know what to do.
Could the corruption, but now the innovation he brought into our passport system and all that, now you can stay at home, apply for your passports and everything. Nigerians in diaspora now don't really need to stress themselves more.
You can process your passport and then you send it to
the price already and everything for 64 pages. This is the price for 32 pages. Seamlessly and all that. This is innovation he brought in less than 3 years. Nobody is talking about issue of passport issuance problem again.
The draconian process.
All the draconian process, the corruption involved in it. At least you don't hear that much again. This is somebody.
That's his face there.
Yes, that's his face there. Tunji Ojo. And he's the same person who's trying to bring in this initiative into our correctional centers now.
Do you know why all this is happening? I go back to the fact that Tunji Ojo as a person is a progressive. The minister is a progressive. These are the kind of things we see in government when you put right people. We have had ministers of FCT in this country. OJ, give it to Yesun Wike. I went to hire excavator to do a project in my estate. I could not find one. I'm not talking of private-owned excavators or commercial rentals. I couldn't get one. I'm saying it on TV. And I asked why. They said, I had over hundreds of excavators. All of them are in the bush walking, tearing the roads. Haba. I may not like certain things about him, but the father is a performer when it comes to infrastructure. Give it to him. I went to a particular road I've not visited for more than 21 years. It's a very short place. So insignificant. But it's linking a place to another place. But it's not a commercial, it doesn't have any commercial value per se. OJ, the place is nylon tied. OJ, go to life camp going today. In a few months' time, OJ, it will be 6-lane like Kubo Express. Are you talking about Apo? To Wasa? To Waru? Or is it the Asokoro Road? If you've not been to Abuja in the past 5 years and you visit Abuja now, you will be confused. You will be confused, OJ. So what am I trying to say? The same thing is also to Tunji Ojo. Give us the dividends of democracy. When you put the right people in the right place, you don't talk much. Even we as journalists, we have less work to do. In fact, bad performance of some of our leaders is even occupying us. We are so occupied talking about for how many years. I sent an advert to you that was made the days of Abiola. A political advert, campaign, and all the issues listed there.
That's still what we are confronting.
We are still what we are confronted today. All, not even one. What does that tell you? Are we moving forward as a nation? We have not handled one. We're talking about over 30 something years. 33 years. All. This, it was interesting, 1988 Newswatch magazine. Go and check the magazine, 1988. The Japa syndrome, the Japa that happened then is even worse than the one we are facing now. The Japa then, 1988 Newswatch. That magazine that has the red and some of them. Go and check it. So what has changed? It is because the wrong people find themselves in government positions. Most of them allegedly. And it is we the citizens. We vote them in there. So what am I trying to say in essence? Why we are celebrating this whole idea is because the man Tunji Ojo knows what he's doing. He has a conscience. He is creative. He is proactive. So when the right person is in a position, things flow naturally. That is why I gave examples of states like Abia State.
All right. Thank you very much, Chidi Kenneth. And of course, we've talk extensively on the idea of introducing agribusiness into our correctional centers. Rehabilitation or revenue drive inside federal government's agribusiness plan for inmates. And of course, it's nice that we have dealt with this. So let the discussion continues, and let the discussion continue. Of course, we might revisit this again as
Yes, we need to. We need to, because I'm beginning to see that
develop.
Yes, I'm beginning to see that this alone can fix the GDP of this country.
Yeah, it will, of course, it will.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll be going for a quick break, and before return, we'll dive into our second issue of the day and perhaps other issues too before the end of the program this morning. P&B Morning Show. Right, so welcome back. This is the P&B Morning Show, reaching live from Politics and Business Television. Now, let's dive into the issue of insecurity this morning once more. Now, a fresh concerns emerge over renewed attacks in Borno State. One of Nigeria's most influential traditional leaders, Muhammad Said Abubakar III, is sounding a powerful alarm. His message is clear. The fight against insurgency must become more proactive, more decisive, and more urgent. But beyond the warning lies a deeper question. Can voices like his truly shape the direction of Nigeria's security response? In a country where traditional and religious leaders hold significant moral authority, their influence often goes beyond words. As the nation grapples with evolving security threats, the spotlight now turns to whether such high-profile interventions can push government and military forces into stronger, more effective action, or if they risk becoming just another call in a long list of unanswered appeals. So we're looking at the Sultan's call to action. Can influential voices drive Nigeria's anti-terror response? That's what we will be looking at in this segment. Chidi Kenneth is still in the studio with me. Now, Chidi,
Yes.
the Sultan on Wednesday, has lent his voice to the issue of insecurity in the country. And we have looked at the issue of the Brno bombing, right here. But why this is significant, today is Salah. The Sultan has made a call. And what he is saying is proactive, not reaction or reactive. Proactive. That before now, like you said in the past, that the issue of relocating to Borno State and that we have done it before.
It's a ritual.
It's a ritual. And he said, the issue of condolences, releasing statements, that the leaders have done it before. That if the army, because he was talking directly to the military, if they are not proactive, then forget it. He's saying, take the battle to them. So, do you think that the call of this kind of person, we are talking about the Sultan of Sokoto?
Okay, wait, just don't worry. You're just take it easy. Let me hit it hard the way it is. Let me hit it very hard. The Sultan of Sokoto, I want to first of all, Abubakar III, I want to commend him and wish him happy Barika de Salah. I also want to say that, and this is the first time he's coming out publicly to speak after the bomb blast by the Americans in Sokoto, 25th of December, 2025. I don't think he has made any strong public statements after then until now. This is about 3 months or 4 months now. He has not actually spoken publicly like this. And speaking now I want to say that it is timely. Coupled with the fact that we had a series of bombings going on within 3 weeks now. We've lost soldiers, theater commanders, we've even lost children and all that. Just name it. So the whole thing is also, becoming very worrisome now. Now, looking at the seat of the Sultan of Sokoto, who is the head of the Islamic Affairs and Council of the Islamic Affairs in Africa. So that gives him the position to understand certain things going on in this that has to do with this insecurity. This insecurity thing have been branded in so many forms. Some see it as Islamic extremism from some certain group like the ISWAP, the ISIS, and the rest of them. So he being a Muslim and a custodian of the religion, as it were now, for him to come out to speak, there is something, then merging it together with the statement of the likes of Gumi, that there is something we need to know. And going by the question, it is very important that personalities like this should come out and speak. Now, I want to be very confident that this statement will go a long way to raise the morale of the troops. Because somebody like that, I hope he has military experience too.
Yeah, of course.
I think he's a retired colonel or something. I don't know what rank he retired as. So, the person of this kind of caliber, looking at his seat, like I said, a man who sits in such sensitive positions at the head of the Council of Islamic Affairs in Africa, he knows something, a lot. There are a lot of things he knows that me and you don't know about this, insecurity going on in Nigeria. He knows. Coupled with the fact that he has not even said anything publicly, like I said earlier on, after the bomb blast, since December 2025. So Sultan Abubakar III knows his voice is very important. His voice is also a moral booster for this insecurity matter, because now he's challenging the soldiers, not even just as a sultan, a traditional ruler, but also as an ex-soldier too. So two ways. And it's one who understands, because OJ, this insecurity issue, let's be very factual to ourselves, is becoming the more you see, the less you understand. That is how it is now. We don't know where to pinch our tent and say, okay, you try to, some say, sabotage here, some say, the government knows. Somebody came out and said the government knows every. Another person is coming and say, proactive. So what is going on? When these men of high positions start speaking, then there is light at the end of the tunnel.
So now, why do warnings often come after attacks? It's after attacks that you hear this kind of warning, encouragement, or whatever you call it. Why does it come at this time?
Okay, there are so many reasons why warnings come after attacks, OJ. You must understand that sometimes it is expedient you do that too. OJ, if something happens in this building, of course, the MD of the company will speak. It is natural. There are some things you do because of the position you occupy. It is natural. It is okay for in his position to speak, because he is sitting on a seat that oversees that zone and that area. So him speaking is, first of all, the office is occupying. That's why for the president, that's why you see governments coming out to condemn certain things that borders on security in their state, because they are the chief security officer of the state. That is one. Two, they also speak as a human being too, because there is an extent to what you can bear as a human being. He is a father. He sees things. No matter how high-minded, strong-minded you are, you have a human being, you have feelings. He's a religious leader in his right too. So he needs to speak. So that is why sometimes these statements are made. OJ, silence in itself is consent. I hope you know that. Not even talking at all shows you are giving consent to a particular thing that is happening. You are not saying anything. That's when you see when something happens, somebody will say, what are you? You are not saying anything. The president is not saying anything. The governor is not saying anything. You are giving consent. You are in support of what is going on. You don't care. You are insensitive. So speaking is part of the requirement that is expected from you when certain things happen under your auspices. You must speak so that it will be on record that you lended your voice. Else, it can be used against you in future.
Okay. So, this kind of voices, high profile traditional, ruler like this, talking and all that. So do you think that traditional, because he also, said something about the role of traditional rulers in fighting insurgency. We've had instances where, some traditional rulers collude with this, non-state actors in perpetrating their acts and all that. So now, for him to to call on the traditional rulers to also help in the fight against insurgency, you think it will go a long way?
Of course, this security is local, OJ. That is why this idea of state police is it's a welcome development. Insecurity is local. It is a rat inside the house that tells the one outside there's something inside the house. Insecurity cannot survive without the locals. It cannot. No matter how well trained the US Marine is, you must also align yourself with the Nigerian army that understands the ground in certain places. That is why sometimes you go to combat certain things in some areas like the Niger Delta, the riverine areas, the savannas. Area. Let me use that local parlance. Area. These traditional leaders are not just traditional leaders. They have custodian. They are custodians of the land, of that land. They have full ownership of the happenings in that land. They understand everything. They have in-depth understanding of the terrain. They know. In some cases, some of them were born and raised there. So they know. They have the history. They know the issues. They know the people. Some of them are so knowledgeable that they, even when you talk, they know if you are from that place or not, from your tongue, from your accent. So insecurity is local. It is, yes.
Like the CDS. CDS is trying to defend himself this morning. If you look at the papers, when he's calling on, the Bruno, the residents of Bruno and Yobe to also help in fighting the insurgency and all that. And it now looks as if it's indicting them. So now there's some, cause that the CDS is indicting us as if it's our fault or we are the cause of what is happening to us and all that. And they say, no. That the point I'm trying to make here is that there are some communities where they harbor some injured, terrorists. Some communities.
The CDS.
You understand? Trying to say no. It's saying that I'm not indicting the residents.
The chief of defense staff.
Yes.
General Kayode is in place to say that.
Because, and this is the issue of galvanizing the local.
I'm saying it openly. I am in support of that statement. OJ, insecurity is local. Insecurity has a lot of role to play with local. Look, you see, this insurgency you are seeing that some of this, I don't know human beings. Intelligence gathering in some areas, it is the locals I will tell you. The hunters, the farmers. So if the CDS are come out to say this, he's not trying to indict them, but he's saying the truth. Sometimes we should stop politicizing everything. I want to commend him for saying that. We have people in some states, in some community, compromising this insecurity matter. Leaking information. Didn't we see a boy that was caught that pretended to be a deaf and dumb for 1 year in Kebbi State? I have the picture. And not knowing that he was the one supplying information. He's even being diplomatic by even using some people will come out and say it. Let me be very honest. Some of these things are happening. There's a lot of conspiracy theory going on out there in some communities. And some people are scared of talking. Or if you talk, you will die. Anyway, you die either way. Whether you talk or not. Like from the voice of the former Senator Dino Melaye. So he is, as the CDS, he is in a better position security-wise. He's the #1 uniform man in Nigeria.
All right. So our discussion is not on the CDS. I'm just trying to. I brought up his issue as a result of galvanizing the locals and all that. Just trying to link it up with what the Sultan is also trying to say now. Religious leaders now, because what we are looking at here is the kind of voice that will make their position known on a particular thing. So for Sultan to speak now, you have said it is a good thing. But we've not had any serious religious leader. Like the Sultan is both traditional and religious. But from the other faith, let's say the Christian faith, we've not seen any strong voice from the Christian faith come out to talk like the Sultan.
I think we had at some point we had the likes of Bishop Kuka last year. He says so.
On this Borno, we've not had any of
on the Borno issue.
We've not had any. If not for the only religious and traditional leader that has spoken is the Sultan, and that's why we are discussing this morning. But we've not had others
from others.
Yes, from the maybe. From either the Pentecostal, community or whatever.
Well, if that happens,
or the Oni of Ife, or the Oba of, people like that to come out to talk. Everybody is quiet enough for the Sultan. That has not spoken
you
now.
See, as what you have just said now is sensitive. It has the capacity to also send some signals too, in the sense that, you see, these are the silent codes that has deepened the disunity in this country. We pretend a lot in this country. that all is well. Meanwhile, it is not well.
Once it is not happening in your own zone.
OJ, I call these silent codes. It's happening even at the state level.
Mm.
And that was why I said, OJ, as a country, we need to deliver our mindset. The problem of Nigeria is the way we think. Oh. I don't know if this amalgamation is working. Up to over 100 years of marriage, we are still thinking differently. Well, yet the marriage is yet to align. The weather is not wedding. Or the wedding is not wedding. Let's be sincere. It is the same thing that happens in election. This one is Igbo. This one is Yoruba. It's the same thing that happens in appointments. Where somebody will appoint over 88 to 89 people in one sector, everybody, a particular tribe, as though there is nobody that is capable from other tribes. These are the silent codes. So it has even snowballed into human lives. If that is going by what you say, that is true, it is a sad thing. Whoever dies, whatever bomb blast happens, it should be condemned by all spheres of people, all kinds of people. Whether you're a Buddhist, whether you're a Shango worshipper or a Christian, we all are human beings. We should come out and speak and condemn it. But you see, like what you said, some top religious leaders have not come to say anything. Some top traditional rulers from other clan or divide of the nation have not said anything. Tomorrow it will not look, you know what, it goes to happen for your place. Me too, I no go talk. This is where we have found ourselves in this country. And OJ, the solution to all these things starts from the president. The president of Nigeria is the most powerful, one of the most powerful presidents in the world. And appointments, I said it before, political appointment is one of the strongest tools for national unity. And up till now, we are still battling with it. The way we structure our political appointment. Jettison federal character. I saw a joke somewhere. Somebody was saying, imagine if a particular tribe, I don't want to call the tribe, the president is that tribe, the chief of army is that tribe, there will be rage in this country. The same people who practice it will rise. The government will come and go, the same thing. The same, from political appointments, the whole thing is looking like a village meeting. At some point in this country, we have the security chiefs where a particular major region in this country was not represented. And there is insecurity in that region.
Anyway,
I'm coming. A particular major region from the southeast, let me call it, was going through serious insecurity then. And nobody in the security architecture from that region. And you know, have you not been cut off? Not even in DSS, not even in NCDC, not even in police, not even in Navy. And when the next government came in and then brought in a particular person from that region, you could see calm. You could see respite there. That's to tell you the effect of political appointments in this country. And I want to appeal to the government. Our governments, please, look into this political appointment thing, especially in some very sensitive sectors. Because it has a way of healing certain wounds. Because allegedly, you might interest you that some of this insecurity issue is also can be used as a tool, allegedly, for political attention. We've seen the likes of somebody wearing a political party cap after some months.
All right, we just have to move now, and want to appreciate TCL P2W for saying that it's a very good example for what prisons. Okay, it's reacting to, of course, our earlier discussion there. We appreciate you for making your comments on our YouTube channel there. Okay, so Chidi, we just have to go on this discussion, and time's not our friend on this one now.
As
And
always,
let the discussion continue. Let the discussion continue. We'll be going for a quick break, and when we return after the break, we will surely bring you another talking point and then conclude on the show. So don't touch the dial. Okay, now welcome back. Now we want to take this few moments we have now to discuss this before we go. Yesterday, there's a report on issue of insecurity, and Nigeria is top there. As far as terrorism is concerned, we are number 4 in the world, and the ADC, that is the opposition, one of the opposition parties, and some will say perhaps the strongest now, and all that they are talking. So now they have now given 3 solutions on fixing the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. So I want us to just talk on this quickly before we wrap up. Okay, now the ADC, that's the African Democratic Congress, has outlined 3-point plan to fix Nigeria's security system. Now, the party announced the plan while reacting to the recently released Global Terrorism Index. According to the report, terror attacks in Nigeria surged by 43% under President Bola Tinubu, and raising from 120 incidents in 2024 to 171 in 2025. So 43%. Now, Borno State accounted for 67% of attacks and 72% of related death, while civilians make up 67% of the casualties. Now, addressing the situation, the ADC National Publicity Secretary Bola Jadulai, in a post via his ex handle, stated that the party would implement decisive reforms to protect Nigerians. Now, according to him, the ADC plans to improve intelligence coordination. That's number 1, intelligence coordination. Now, secondly, he said what the ADC will do is to decentralize policing. Decentralization of what? Or the police system. Bringing security closer to the communities.
Of course, I mentioned the local state policing, local policing.
All right.
Security is local.
Yes. All right. Then he went on to say the third solution that the ADC was going to do if voted into power will be what? Reactionary. Will shift from reactionary to preventive. Reactionary to preventive. So number 1 is what? Number 1 is to ensure that they improve intelligence coordination. Intelligence coordination. That is what they're now saying, is that the police, the DSS, whatever, you understand, they'll coordinate the intelligence they will have. Then number 2 is to decentralize the police system. And number 3 is to prevent and not to react. Okay. Is this the first time we are getting this kind of solutions or hearing this kind of solutions to solve our problems?
I was just looking at you when you were saying all these things, and in my mind I was like, what is all this? What is all this?
Is this new?
What's all this? Whoever is writing this thing, is he talking to? Are we talking to fools? What are you saying? You see, sometimes some of these things, people just come to mess up our sensibility. As if we are fools. Okay, we are on ground. We know what's going on in Nigeria. What of illegal mining? Preventive, how? How are you going to prevent it? You just put one big grammar out there.
Or maybe you prevent it through the
stopping the illegal mining.
Prevents terrorism through intelligence coordination.
AJ.
They can be interlinked. If you can coordinate your intelligence, you can.
Yesterday or so, there was a particular program was trending in a particular TV station. A video leaked where illegal money is going on in a particular state, and people are protected, and they are heavily protected. Who is doing that business? Intelligence gathering. Okay, let me tell you something. Synergy will need the sister agencies and the security agencies, and you appoint people of one tribe. So where is it? And you think the other tribe will not? Let me tell you the truth. I keep saying it. Appointment. If we can get it right in this country, follow federal character, Nigeria will be better. So
as we try to wrap up now, are you saying that what the opposition are lashing on now is just rhetorics? I just talk, not.
That was why I said you are messing on my. Are you messing on my insensibility? These are things we know. These are not even. They've not even touched the main issue. Let me ask the ADC. What are they saying about the illegal mining? Are they trying to use English language to brand it by saying preventive measures? Maybe that's what they're trying to say. I want to maybe make excuses for them.
Now, Bolaji Abdullah is someone who served under a certain government in this country. He did not say all these things then. Now he's having solution to our security problem.
Thank you very much. So you see, when the going is good, you talk from the different side of your mouth. Now, the thing I want to say is that some of us, we want to ask, let's come out and say it. Is it the preventive measure they are talking about? Is it by stopping those illegal? OJ, I've seen one of the trucks. I don't want to say certain things on TV. So what happens? Let them tell us what is going on. Who is running that business? We've had a lot of reports from well-meaning Nigerians, the likes of Al Mustafa and the rest of them come and say, and nobody has come to deny that it's not true. We've seen videos, leaked videos on national TV. Nobody has come to deny it's not true. And some people have come to say that illegal mining is also what is the cause of the insecurity you're talking about. Some people have come to say it. Some Nigerians will say it. We've heard it so many ways being talked about in different ways. And then Gumi came to say somebody in the particular government knows the name of every. This time the Sultan is talking.
Okay. So
what is the preventive measure, OJ? If I'm to ask you back.
And coordination.
And
decentralization of police. Is this all the same thing like perhaps the APC
is talking about? APC is already doing
state
that.
Police, is it not trying to the state police?
Which is the right step in the right direction. The APC is the president.
Decentralization
His Excellency have started doing that. I'm not holding brief. I'm not a party member to any of this. But I'm always trying to say things as a journalist the way it should be. I want somebody that will come and tell me that we are going to make sure that this alleged rumor of illegal mining going on in the bush that has been linked to insecurity, allegedly, that we are going to investigate it. Until somebody comes to talk like this, a high-powered, I'll begin to listen to that person.
All right. We have to go now, Chidi. Thank you very much for coming again. And of course.
Thank you, Jare and Barika Sala one more time. Some of these issues, sometimes when they say it, you see, we will just come here and speak English, and the same thing is happening.
We have to speak the English. We have to, say something about it. Okay. The audience, we just have to go now. And thank you very much for being parts of this edition of the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television. This is the last edition for the week. We're back on Monday again with another interesting edition. Please do well to join us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to this channel. Let's grow it together. And of course, it will be good for all of us. All you need to do is to go on YouTube and type Politics and Business TV.English. Politics and Business TV.English. That's the and sign. Okay, that is what you will type. And then you, of course, get us and get all the latest information you desire from this channel. Thank you so much. And thanks to the team, everyone who, of course, assisted in this production of the P&B Morning Show. Have a wonderful Salah and weekend ahead. Bye-bye.